is called to order with first up invocation and pledge of allegiance led by Commissioner View.
God of all creations, we come before you today to give you honor and praise. You are worthy of praise. You are a source of all that is good. You are the source of all of our blessings. Thank you for every gift that we have been given. We thank you for the opportunity to come and gather together this day. We ask for your hand of blessing on this meeting. We ask that you would guide and direct our meeting so that it is full of wisdom, productivity, and respect for one another. Thank you for helping us to accomplish our work and our goals this day. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mayor Bosford.
Here.
Commissioner Manilow.
Here.
Commissioner Phelan.
Here.
Commissioner Thompson.
Here.
Commissioner View.
Here.
All right, first up is public comment, but before that, I'm going to read the proclamation for the Community Action Month. Whereas community action emerged from the heart of President Lyndon B. Johnson's 1964 proclamation of America's war on poverty, where battles must be won in the field, in every private home, in every public office, from the courthouse to the White House. And whereas community action has put a human face on poverty for 53 years by advocating for limited income citizens without a voice, so that they may enter the middle class and reach for the American dream, replacing their despair with opportunity. And whereas the Menominee Delta Schoolcraft Community Action Agency has been enhancing the lives of countless area residents through caring and cost-effective implementation of its program, early childhood client services, weatherization, energy, housing, senior services, nutrition services, homeless services, senior companion, foster grandparents, retired and senior volunteers. And whereas community action builds and promotes economic stability as an essential aspect of enabling and enhancing stronger communities, which in turn promotes self-sufficiency, ensuring that all Americans are able to live in dignity. And whereas community action has enhanced the lives of millions of people across America by providing essential life-changing services and opportunities such as affordable housing, economic development, healthcare, energy assistance, natural disaster relief and recovery. And whereas community action already serves 99% of American counties and rural, suburban, and urban communities, because it is right, because it is wise, because in our hearts and mind we believe it is possible to conquer poverty. And whereas community action will continue to implement innovative and cost-effective programs to improve the lives and living conditions of the impoverished, continue to provide support and opportunities for all citizens in need of assistance, and continue to be a major voice of reasoning in establishing welfare system reforms. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Jay Bostrick of the City of Gladstone, Michigan, do hereby proclaim May 2017 as Community Action Month in recognition of the hard work and dedication of the Menominee Delta School Community Action Agency. In testimony whereof I have hereon to set my hand and cause to be affixed the Great Seal of Gladstone, Michigan on this day of May 8th, 2017. All right, so now still at public comment. If you have anything, just state your name and address. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. The City Commission regular meeting of April 24th, the Parks and Rec regular meeting of April 4th. Payment of bills.
I Move that we approve the consent agenda as presented in the minutes.
All right, motion by Commissioner Thompson, support by Commissioner Phelan. Oh, Mantler.
Yeah,
did
we
it,
both said
I'm
at the
sorry.
same time, so.
Okay. All right, any discussion?
The GIS new mapping is the flyover that they just did for the county. It's our portion. It's supposed to get us down to new map and a lot more accurate than past versions of our mapping.
Except from some of the documentary treatment funds.
Yep, that's what we're paying for
All
that.
right.
Betterments to the city.
All right, any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. New business set commission meeting to review the manager applications.
Doc, Jerry Richards, our guy from MML, needed to know a little ahead of time. That's why we talked about it. We need to set a meeting and we'll go over. There's 12 applications. He is going through and checking each one of those, and then he'll be here on Monday. And I think we need to go into a closed session, and the commission as a whole will review all the 12 applications that he brings with him, and go over that, and then from that we'll develop a list of who you'd like to, the top candidates are, and who you'd like to interview.
And we are supposed to get the names before this meeting.
No, if the applicants, have requested confidentiality, you have to honor that. The Open Meetings Act provides for that. It does allow you as an option to go in closed session to review those applications. You'll come back out and either direct, most likely, the MML facilitator to contact the applicants that you want to interview and set those dates up. At the time that,
I just mean, are we gonna get the applicants
Personally,
Maybe.
ahead of time.
ahead of time
No.
before this meeting?
you will get
So
them
we
at the
won't.
closed
Okay.
session. Because the confidentiality is so important,
Okay.
you could actually be in violation of breaching their confidentiality. So, as I was saying, that you will go into closed session, you will have, be given those, they will be collected after that. You're not gonna come out and name the people that you're going to interview. You're going to direct, the facilitator to contact those people to see if they do still wanna proceed in the process. If they agree to proceed in the process, then their name is released as candidates and posted at a public meeting that the interview will take place at a set time and date here at the city chambers. That's when those are released. So, we have, there'll be information coming, we just need a date set here to get this started. But that's when those will become public, at that time. So, once you set this date, for this meeting, then you will know who they are in the closed session. They will still be confidential at that point when you come out. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Did everyone ask for confidentiality?
At this point, they're all confidential until after we decide who we want to interview.
Oh, I thought you said that some of them asked for it.
No, they may after we request.
You're right. If they request the confidentiality, which I haven't seen any of them, the facilitator knows that and is honoring it to the law that we need to abide by.
Okay.
Once they are contacted and said, we want to proceed in the process and you are one of the candidates we want to interview, that is an open session, they then have to make the decision that it's going to be
If they
public
wanna
at that
proceed.
time. If they don't want to proceed in that process, they still remain confidential. You don't release their names. So it's important to follow that confidentiality.
I agree.
Yep, so it will come out. I know everybody will probably want the names and whatever when we come out of that meeting, but, in short time, depending on the dates are set for the interview, that list will be published with the agenda.
And if 5 o'clock time, that's the best time for, Mr.
That's
Richard to be here, and
right.
for the time frame he's looking to,
Mhm.
needed to go over these.
Mhm. That was, seemed to be best with everyone. I think we could be a little flexible on that time, you know, as long
That
as
was
you
the time that the mayor suggested.
Why?
Well, I mean,
No,
most people
that's-
are available on Mondays, so.
Yeah.
It is our off Monday, you know, from.
Well,
our
I'll
meeting.
move that we have a special meeting on May 15th, 2017 at 5 p.m. at City Hall to review the applications received for city manager.
I'll support. All right, motion by Commissioner Views, support by Commissioner Thompson. To set the special commission meeting on May 15th, 2017 to review manager applications. Any more discussion?
Looking forward to it. Been a long time.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next up is city manager's report.
Received a letter from the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs Public Service Commission, State of Michigan. Just an announcement to whom it may concern, the Michigan Public Service Commission, which they call the MPSC, is responsible for the implementation and oversight of Public Act 480 of 2006, Uniform Video Services Local Franchise Act. Section 10 of the act provides a video cable dispute resolution process at the MPSC to be used by customers. So we're gonna have a copy of this put on our website, and what they're just saying is if you have a problem with the cable company or a cable complaint, that you can help get that resolved through the Michigan Public Service Commission. The other reason they sent this letter was to let you know that the MPSC does not have any authority regarding satellite television complaints or internet services. So wanted to let you know that cable, they handle the satellite TV and the internet, they don't have anything to do. And if you have problems with that, you need to go through the Federal Trade Commission, and there's contact information for that, or you can go through the Michigan Attorney General's office. So we'll have a copy of this letter posted on our website in case anybody wants to use the information. Okay, going down, just covering some of the stuff from past meetings that came up, like during public comment. Skelton Road, Mark's not here now, but Public Works spent a couple days down. I haven't driven on it. I drove on it before. And they spent a couple days pothole filling and leveling off and doctoring up something that portion that needs to be replaced. So we did what we could do on that for right now. Brought up at a during public comment that the cost of Parks and Recreation was over $700,000. It's a good spreadsheet that Nicole and our auditor has set up showing that, she has 20 years of data, and I can get this for anybody who wants to see it, that after you take the recreation expense, which in our proclamation was listed at $735,000. Well, our income for Parks and Recs is going to be over $600,000 this year. So the net expense right now before budget amendments is $126,000. If you look at the 20-year average, the average expense to the taxpayers for recreation is about $209,000 a year, which amounts to $42 a citizen. It varies from 250 down to 140, 130. Last year was $145,000. So there's a difference between cost and net. And a lot of that income, just as example, the sports park usually brings in about $55,000. Concession stands bring in $14,000. The campground brought in $140,000 last year. The disc golf, the grant is projected at $40,000. The lift, batting cages, and the ski lift, that grant is projected at $120,000. Hannahville 2% money is projected at $43,000. And the Mary Cretans for recreation is $176,800. So that all of that is not City of Gladstone taxpayer money. And the grant amounts, again, are projections, and if we don't get that grant amount, whatever that grant was for, we don't do that project. The other thing was the vote on the budget approval was 4-1 at the meeting. It wasn't 2-2. Citizen from UPCO, there. To my surprise, I did some research on there, and there is a person that lives up on 29th Street. I don't know how this happened, but at one time there were several citizens who is connected to UPCO, and there's a process to be connected to us and disconnected from UPCO, and we have the wheels rolling on that, and we will be meeting with the new executive director for UPCO. Will be visiting us on Monday, and that'll be a topic we hope to get ironed out. The trail update. Nicole couldn't be with us tonight because she's working at the concession stand baseball diamond. There was a delay because of previous engineer was unable to meet times for early letting because of his abilities, and the engineering firm had a flood in their office and they lost a lot of information. This individual has been replaced with a very qualified engineer. The DEQ and the Army Corps of Engineers have gone through their review, and it isn't an official okay, but it appears like that portion is good to go. The part that's being checked right now that might take some time is the SHPO. That's the historical review of the property that the pathway's going through. Sometimes that takes time, but right now, after meeting with the engineers and the DEQ, they're looking at a let-out date of August 1st, a start date of October 1st, with a finish by the end of November. And project, they reevaluated the project in regards to cost, and they are still projecting the project to come in on budget or below. The last meeting, Commissioner Bugh mentioned some the economic vitality and incentive program, the EVIP program. I just wanted to let everybody know that we have been following that since 2011. There's 3 parts to that. Vicki does a great job of keeping up on it. There's part 1 is the accounting and transparency part, which includes the citizen guide, the dashboard, the debt service, and the budget. All of that is available at City Hall and on our website. Part 2 was the consolidated services, which we have done some stuff on. Actually, not as much as we could, but we've joined services with Rock and with Rapid River on the sewer and the water, and those are the ones that I remember because I was involved in. I'm sure there's a few more. And the third part was the employee compensation part, which tied that law into the Public Act 152, which you also mentioned. In 2013, Part 2 and 3, the consolidated services and employee compensation are no longer part of the EVIP. What the EVIP is that's the state would grade you on how much you're going to get in your money and your profit, not profit sharing, but your revenue sharing. And getting down to the employee compensation part, and that's a big part of that is the health care. And there was two public acts, number 152 and Act 54, and we have met that each and every year. The commission had voted on the hard cap, which we follow the number which is adopted by the state each year. It's adopted in September, but it starts on January 1st. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Anyone have any city commission and committee reports? Okay, board and commission reports, and North Shore Development Project update.
MSU Extension is coming for their second presentation to the community. Our first meeting that we had with them back in February took a lot of input from the community and has received questions from the community. The second meeting that they are having with us will be scheduled for June 5th. It'll go out to the newspapers and press release and all that, public meetings to get that prepared. June 5th at the Yacht Club at 6 o'clock. And this second presentation will be more of a vision process, so pictures of what people said that they wanted. Public will be able to make comments on pictures, and it's going to be a presentation prior, and then everybody's going to do some pictures. It's entertaining, a little bit of food, so everybody's invited. Commission attend the first meeting, stop by the second meeting, and see what the exists of what we're doing. Some people in North Shore Development Strategic Plan.
So it's at 6.
All right, thank you. All right, public comment.
I went for a ride down on Skelton Road there, and then I went over to 17th Street, and I was surprised that that street is no longer asphalted. Something is really wrong in this town. When you're pumping so much money, the budget for the parks is more than what it is for public works. You've got to get something straightened out here. Priority is your sewer system, your water system, your electrical in streets, not the park. You guys got to cut that park budget and put more money into public works, because your streets are just going to hell. And the manager even told you in his report there that they got to do something with it. And Mr. Mayor, I am requesting an answer from you what you plan on doing about our streets. I would like to see you cut the park division by 30%. You see all the money they're dumping into that building that you said they could have? Where's all that money coming from? That's a waste. A real, real waste. Now they just painted it. It's going to be another building just like the DDA. We're going to dump a ton of money into it, and it's still only going to be worth $40,000. You people should be ashamed of yourselves to allow this going on. And I'm asking you for an answer. Why are you doing this, or allowing it to be done? Thank you.
Thank you.
Name is Ken Levine, 2722 South Hill Road, Gladstone. I'm going back a little while. 2014, I went into that compost site. It was a garbage dump. 2015, I spent hundreds of hours in there, probably 1,400, 48 hours a week. By June, I got 3 volunteers. By July, I got 2 more. Well, I had 5 or 6. So when Darla Falcon caused 3 of them to quit, I went to community service and got people to work in there. Now, I don't know what you call harassment. If you ask somebody where they're from, I don't call that harassment. So far, I haven't been there that much in the last couple of weeks because of the petitions. But about 11 people in there that weren't supposed to be in there. 1 contractor I shipped out of there, and 2 more. Arthur Maynard, or whatever his name is, lives on Tipperary. Called me up. He says, "Ken, I just went down there. I followed that guy all the way from Escanaba Township over there, and I told him he couldn't down." He said he called the police. Now, these ladies called the police too, but nobody knows anything. There's no tickets ever been issued in there in 4 years. Why is that? They want to ticket me if I'm in there, threaten me and everything else, telling me that I'm causing problems or something like that. And I don't know. Then I get a letter. I went to my mailbox Sunday morning. I didn't go Saturday. I get a letter from Eric stating to me that, I won't read the whole thing, but I'm going to read parts that I know that's not right. I know about that guy with 30 years. I did talk to him, but I did not talk to him about the Parks and Recreation. We only got 2 petitions. That's the one for the DDA and the electrical department. So where did he get that? And also here's another one on here. Public property. It's not public property. The sign up there says no people from the township, no contractors, no lawn and garden people allowed in there. That doesn't make it public property. It makes it Gladstone's property. It's city of Gladstone. I could read the whole thing, but I'm not going to do it because I'm so upset. I worked my rear off in there. I spent my own money even for a canopy with another lady. We paid for it. I spend money for people that come there to work from the community service because they didn't have any money. I went out and bought them lunches. I spent a lot of money on gasoline going back for it. Then I'm not told now that if I go in there, you're going to call the police. Well, why didn't you call the police on all these people that were in there? You're the manager. You should have closed that up. It's still not closed. Why should the people of this town pay and these people are sneaking in there left and right? That's not right. Gladstone deserves better than this, calling all this other stuff on here. If I go in there and the cops get me, there's going to be some real trouble. I'll tell you right now. I'm not going, what do you call harassment? If I'm asking somebody they belong in there, I don't call that harassment because I find out they're not. And I have a whole, everybody in Gladstone's address and who they are. If you think that you want to keep after me, well, go ahead. But I'll get after yous too. Just because I'm helping out on 2, one for the DDA and one for the electrical department, that makes me a troublemaker? I don't think so. I have a lot of faith in this town. I have a lot of faith in the people in this town. I got 48 signatures this weekend alone, and guess what? They're all telling me the same things. Why are we running this town the way it's going? You can't get 3 people to vote on one item. Now, if 2 of you only vote on, which happened on the last one, at 1.8, only Steve and Dave Phelan voted no. But what happened? Yes. So now, people are telling me this Sunday, I don't know why they didn't know. They're saying that the staff up here is asking for a big raise. Well, we had to raise taxes so we could have enough money. Are we giving out big raises too now? I don't know about that. I don't know if that's even true. I just hear that. Anyway, I'm not really upset about this. And a lot of people that's going to probably be sending you letters because they said they didn't like what you were doing to me. They might as well know. And I'm just may put an editorial in the press. I haven't decided yet, but I just may. Just keep off my butt. Leave me alone. I'm trying to do what's good for Gladstone. If you don't like it, call me in and explain why you don't like it, instead of calling me a troublemaker. That's all I got to say. I had more I wanted to say, but I'm not going to.
Anyone else?
My name is Lester Duncan. I live at 602 North 8th Street. Last year, I sent an email to some of this administration. I'm not sure exactly who was on the email, but I kept getting warnings and violations for camper blocking a sidewalk or whatever. And I'm not here to dispute the ordinance or whatever. I have no problem with the ordinance. But what I do have a problem with is the continual harassment that I'm receiving. I got a ticket just a few weeks ago. I parked a camper there on a Friday night, worked on it all day Sunday and all day Saturday, needed repairs. I performed repairs. I moved the camper. I came to pay the ticket, which I did pay within pennies, because I find it ridiculous. And just think it's ridiculous how they continue to give me tickets about it. And I came in and talked to her about it, and she says, I will no longer receive warnings. I will just get tickets. And I don't ever plan to park my camper there. I don't want my camper there. I have a camper of my own, and I park it somewhere else. If I have something in the driveway, it's only there because I'm working on it. You can drive around this city anytime you want and during the day and find the sidewalk blocked by numerous other vehicles and whatever else not. I just wanted to show you what my house looked like before I bought it. These are pictures off of Google Earth. This is what it looks like now. I don't want to park my camper there. I don't want to block. I've done a really good job, I think, of making my house look nice. I don't want to block it. I'm not trying to block it. But like I said, I continually get tickets. And I thought I made it clear last year with my email, but apparently not. So anyway, after I got done driving a school bus route this morning, and I was driving back from the school bus garage to my home, I noticed this. Does anyone know where this building is? This building belongs to the city, and there is a trailer blocked lengthwise covering the sidewalk. So where's the citation for that? To yourself. That's all I have to say about that.
Thank you.
I'll need copies of the pictures for the record.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, moving on to city commissioner comments. Commissioner Phelan.
Nothing here.
Commissioner Mantala.
Nothing today.
Commissioner you.
Nothing.
Thompson. You.
I do have some. I always do. First off, with my comments last week on Public Act 152 and the comments made today on Public Act 152 of 2011, with the hard cap, I just want to make it clear, I never said the city wasn't following the rules of them public acts. But there are many options under that act that the city has choices to make on that could eventually help save the taxpayers in a lot of areas with the health insurance, which other cities throughout Michigan have enacted to relieve some of the burden of the health care costs for everybody. So I just want to make it clear that I never said we were not following the rules, but we have many options that we never discuss for potential savings.
I just wanted to explain it. It's a complicated law because of the way they're interlocked together, and then they drop part of it, and I just wanted to explain it so
Oh,
everybody understands.
I agree, that was good, but I just also wanna, I've been studying it for 6 months. And unless I'm wrong, we have potential there to do some tax relief for our citizens. That's all I thought. The other thing is, on my commission and comment reports, I get people talking to me periodically every month. Once the same subject comes up multiple times over a period of time, then I come and give you a comment on something that I think we may need to investigate or learn about. Well, I have one today. And it ain't that I'm bringing these up to cause any type of animosity between anyone or anything, but it's to educate. My comments today would be on the Dr. Mary Cretens funds. What the people have told me, I could not answer their questions, so I kind of wrote up something in my mind to basically, if we could schedule a special meeting or maybe a presentation at a future commission meeting to communicate to the commission and our citizens the objective, the input procedure, the activity anticipated, including past fulfillment and the future goals towards the most efficient expenditures in the execution of complying with the Dr. Mary Cretens Fund. And the last person that talked to me said he went and had wine with her every weekend. And he came into my office the other day and says, how are they spending this? How are they doing this? I know how she wanted. I says, I give them, how much what percentages go to everything. And he made the recommendation that we have something like this, so I'm throwing it out to the public. He would like to have a yearly report. This is just a comment from him for all the citizens so that we can know what's going on with this fund. And he mentioned maybe the report could be given through the utility billing, which I don't know. I know that's expensive and that, but I mean, that's just something he mentioned. So I just throw that out there to see if we can get some education for our citizens, whoever's running that fund, to come and give us a nice report on what we did with it so far, where we're going with it. And, I mean, I did give him, 3% goes for this, 5% for city improvements, but he wants to physically know what's going on and who has the input to how it's being used.
I don't have a problem with doing that, but it is presented every year when we do the budget. It says right in the budget where we're spending that money. Every year.
That he's asking for the compliance of it, because he feels it's not being compliance with.
Well,
It is.
the person that gives us that money makes sure we're in compliance, or he
have
won't
it.
give it to us.
It is audited every year, and that's a public meeting for the public to attend, and that fund is covered as
Okay, well, I'm just telling
And
you.
it's all on the website, the audit and.
Well, I could
the
tell him
budget.
where the money's being spent in that, but that wasn't his issue.
No, she's,
We won't get the money.
When we go through our yearly audit every year, our auditors look at where we have spent it and, what we spent it on, how much, and look at what we transferred into the general fund from the documentary.
that all gets presented back to the foundation, to the guy, the grantor of the money. So he's,
Yeah, that's what I was saying, that, so, the community foundation who oversees her estate as a whole also looks at that and makes sure that we are spending it.
Well, if I get that answer, I'll have something to give him. I mean, I gave him the audit report, and that he wasn't satisfied that was covering what she wanted to do. It sounded like he wanted to have some input into the prioritizing of it or something. I don't know.
that's,
We do have it audited, and that is a public meeting when we do the audit as well as the budget.
Well, I relayed what one of
I can go over it on my manager's comments next meeting.
Okay.
No problem. It's just a majority of that money she left was for the recreation department and the cemetery.
Okay, then one other comment, on the 5th of May, somebody wrote, Steve, I am curious, in Gladstone, does the mayor sit on the board of review in March for taxes? I mean, I didn't think he did, but I thought I would ask it, and does he have a vote when residents dispute their taxes? So, all I need is a yes or no vote. No? Okay. That's it.
All right, I don't have anything, so city clerk comments?
Yes, please watch your emails. The packet is ready. We just needed you to schedule that special meeting for Monday, May 15th. So Jerry and I will be forwarding that on to you guys. And noting cemetery is very busy. It's the springtime. We're getting seasonals hired with that. But the cemetery is very busy with spring maintenance, spring burials, setting veterans markers, and getting it ready for Memorial Day. So big push there. And then our seasonals are coming on slowly but surely. So busy. And that's all I can think of right now.
All right, thank you. We are adjourned.
I didn't want to bring that Mary Frankie's commentator now, but this guy is pushing me hard for some reason. You know who it is? You know? Don Ray.